Before I begin this review, I'm going to do a quick plug on another YouTuber that deserves your attention. He goes under the username Mercury Falcon, but I believe his real name is John, and his specialty is documentary-style videos on various classic anime, providing trivia, all that stuff. I stumbled onto him when I was looking for some Robotech stuff after I made that rant, and he has a History of Robotech series, which is still ongoing by the time I record this. And he also happens to be a big fan of Ishinomori works, classic Kamen Rider, Cyborg 009, that stuff. So, and I'm also going to share one of the videos in relation to this review as well, so you guys can look at that after my review. So once again, if you love old school anime, I'd say give him a watch, sub, and a notification bell. So with that said, it has been over 4 years since I announced I was supposed to review Bubblegum Crisis, as well as 2 other shows. I probably won't get to one of them for my own reasons. So I apologize for that. Hell, I didn't even know why I put off watching this anime in general. It's a fucking classic, which, yeah, spoiler for the review right there. So it's time to review the OG, one of the biggest classics. I, of course, am talking about the original Bubblegum Crisis. This cyberpunk classic OVA series from 1987 to 1991 was originally planned for 13 episodes, but unfortunately was cut down to 8 due to internal disputes that unfortunately didn't get to be resolved, which was pretty foolish of them. See, this ass-kicking series is what you get when you combine Blade Runner, Streets of Fire, a little bit of Super Sentai, a little bit of Iron Man, and some Terminator into the mix, and you get this masterpiece. In the distant future of Tokyo 2032, where video payphones still existed, that was just something that I wanted to point out was funny to me, the mega corporation Genome controls most of the world, manufacturing sentient robots known as boomers, and occasionally said boomers will wreak havoc and go on a murder spree. That's when the AD police come in to stop the menace. However, since the AD in AD police stands for about to die, the Nightsabers come in and kick some ass instead. These Nightsabers, donning armored power armor known as hardsuits, are vigilantes for justice who oppose Genome and the evil shit they do. Now, the Nightsabers are led by Celia Stingray, which is a fucking cool name, who is avenging her father's unjust murder at the hands of Genome. But we also have Princess Aguirre, the biker slash rock star, who is actually the main protagonist of the series, the poster child, so to speak. You also got Lena Yamazaki, an aerobics instructor, and AD police officer Nene Romanova. Together, they kick ass and take names in their multicolored hardsuits. Now, I'll admit, the story structure did have a couple of overarching arcs that didn't really last that long, such as the one with the antagonist Brian Mason, but the structure is still more episodic. In fact, with the exception of Celia, I don't believe in this series we got an origin story for the other Nightsabers on how they came to be, although it can be easily speculated because of their skills, such as Pris's biker skills, Lena's athleticism, and Nene's connection to the AD police. That being said, I'm not really dogging that show for that. In fact, I don't even know why I'm reviewing this anime. There really isn't anything I find that negative about it. I fucking love this show, obviously. You know, you could call it bias for the old school anime, but man, I love that style. I love the mech. I love the action. I love the OVA style animation from that period. Of course I was going to love this anime. There shouldn't be any doubts to any of my subscribers here. But since I made a promise to both myself and my subscribers, I will still follow through on my review. That being said, like I said, it's just going to be me gushing from this point forward. In fact, let's get into the art direction of this show. See, the anime production behind this amazing show is from Studio AIC, and it had character designs from Kenichi Sonoda. If you guys don't know who that is, he is the man behind Writing Bean and Gunsmith Cats. Some of the stuff I've talked about before. I did the Writing Bean review, and I believe I reviewed the Gunsmith Cats manga, and he's obviously one of my favorite artists. He's got this design that can perfectly capture like very Western appearances, but still make it feel old anime-like, which is fitting because here's something I noticed in Bubblegum Crisis. See, in Tokyo, we have characters with names like Brian J. Mason, Quincy, Leon, Irene, Yeah, apparently a lot of Westerners just moved into Tokyo in the future. Now, as for the cyberpunk elements, it's mostly just the robotic stuff that's in there. Tokyo 2032 doesn't really feel futuristic at all, considering this was an OVA made from over 20 years ago. And there's not flying cars. Oh, there's supercars. There's like this one episode that was a homage to Mad Max. But outside of that, it still feels, not only does it feel 1980s, it sometimes feels like 1980s New York. Now, for the hard sci-fi elements that are there, the boomer designs, the basic boomers, the ones from the first couple episodes, I really do like those designs a lot, because they're like roided out Terminators with jetpacks, and they also have pearly white teeth, which makes them look even more unnerving. And they are just, they obviously look like they could just cause a lot of havoc and shit, which they do. Like, they can mulch an 80 police officer with ease. The 80 police, with the exception of Leon, they're all practically just frickin', they're the red shirts in this series. But the Lightsaber heart suits, they're definitely a unique design. I say they're Super Sentai inspired maybe, but not really, because their helmets, it must be the helmets, but they have a very alien-like to their design. But it's pretty cool. It's got this feminine look. The feet even have like high heel designs too. I really like them a lot. And they also have motorcycles that can either transform into little mechs of their own or an extra layer of armor, which is straight out of the Cyclones from the anime Genesis Climber Mospeada, or Robotech The New Generation if you're an old school anime fan in the West. And I believe that's an anime that Sonoda himself did work on in his earlier days. And one last thing, I did watch this anime on the Kickstarter Blu-ray that Anime Ego had a couple years back. Yes, even though I just watched Bubblegum Crisis this week, I did patron for that Kickstarter a couple years back. You can even find my name on the Blu-ray case if you look hard enough. I am actually going to glance over the dub because after watching it in the first episode, I really didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that they dubbed over the music in the series, and I didn't like the altered sound effects. It sounded way more inorganic to me. So I actually watched the series from start to finish subbed, which is something I barely do. I don't have such a low tolerance for English dubs. Most of you guys know this about me. But Anime Ego have been consistently giving me subpar quality dubs. I even had to do that when I was watching the Crusher Joe movie. So once again, when I was watching Bubblegum Crisis, start to finish, I was watching it, subtitles, and to me, the voice acting in that show, Japanese, it's fine. To me, if no one sounds annoying, then that's my quota for quality Japanese voices. But let's talk about that 80s Japanese rock music. Ooh! The anime opened strong in that department with Kanya wa Hurricane. Love that shit. And most of the music is sung by Princess Seiyu, which fitting considering her character. And there was some interesting trivia regarding that voice actress. Again, link in the description below. But I love the music to the show. Even if it might have actually plagiarized some songs back in the day. Again, more of a reason why I want you guys to check out his video afterwards. He goes into bigger detail about it. But yeah, you love that Japanese 80s music, especially rock, then you'll probably want this on your playlist. Overall, as I said before, I'll say it again. Bubblegum Crisis is going to be on my top favorites. It hits almost everything I love in anime. Badass female protagonists, great music, cool robot designs, cool battle armor designs, outdated yet really fun setting. And I recommend this anime if you're looking for another classic you probably missed out. And I really hope you enjoyed this review. I'll admit, it is choir preaching at this point. I had to make it entertaining in some way, and I did promise that I was going to review this a while back, and I guess this would be the perfect time to tell you. The reason why I've been doing anime reviews is kind of getting an incentive for me to actually sit down and watch this anime. Because not only will I be completing my backlog, At the same time, I could also provide quality YouTube content. Now you know the secret as to why I do anime reviews, and I hope that doesn't devalue it. Now, I will review the late 90s reboot Tokyo 2040 sometime in the future. Not sure when, and please refrain from giving me your thoughts about Tokyo 2040. I don't know. I don't want to get into this argument on which show was better or not. We'll get there when I actually get down and watching the rest of that series. But I hope to see you guys again soon. And with that, this is Darkscream signing out.